Hello and welcome to this evening's City Council meeting. I'd like to thank everyone for coming and ask if you'd please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, and then remain standing for our invocation this evening brought by our State Representative Mike Thompson. I pledge allegiance to the flag of our United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please bow as we pray. Most holy God, we come before your throne of grace tonight boldly but humbly, and we ask for your blessings, and we ask for your wisdom. Father, guide each one here tonight as they come together to serve the people of this great town. Father, I pray that as we switch change of command, that you be with the new people that have come on board, and I pray that you'll just be with them and watch over. Give guidance, give wisdom. In Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. Our first order of business this evening is the oath of office. And if I could have the newly elected join the judge down front.
Bob, do you have someone here with you? Well, I'm going to start with you first, and then we'll do Emily, and then we'll do the mayor. All right? So need to be able, we would make sure your photo ops are all available. Please raise your right hand. Please repeat after me. I, Bob Reeves,
Do
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
and faithfully discharge the duties as a city council member of the city of Bonner Springs, Kansas.
and faithfully discharge the duties of the City of Bonner Springs as councilman.
So help me
So
God.
help me God.
Congratulations. Emily, you got anybody else here, family here with you tonight?
I do.
Why don't you have them come up? If you'd all stand behind Emily, I'd sure appreciate it. On behalf of Bonner Springs, thank you all for being here. Emily, would you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, Emily Blanks,
I, Emily Blanks,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
and faithfully discharge the duties
and faithfully discharge the duties
as a city council member of the city of Bonner Springs, Kansas.
as a city council member of the city of Bonner Springs, Kansas.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Bill. I appreciate it.
Tom, you got family and like to have them come up.
I got a few up here.
You can be on this side.
I was gonna have the oldest grandson.
That's okay. Please raise your right hand. I, Tom Stevens,
I, Tom Stevens,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
and faithfully discharge the duties
and faithfully discharge the duties
as mayor of the city of Bonner Springs, Kansas.
as mayor of the City of Bonner Springs, Kansas.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. I'll take care of it. I'll do it. I do this all the time.
Okay, as my first duty as the mayor of Bonner Springs, I get to give a couple plaques out to our outgoing city council member as well as our mayor. Danny, would you please stand up? Come up here. Danny Gurley represented on the city council, Ward 2, from January 15th to January of 2024. In recognition and appreciation, the mayor, city council, and city staff thank you for your service to the city of Bonner Springs. Your devotion of time, energy, and skills has resulted in decisions and policies that help to improve this community. Thank you, Danny. Thank you. Would you like to say something?
Take a picture. Thank you. I think so.
All right, okay. Where's that former mayor?
Thank you, Mayor.
It's been a pleasure working with both these individuals. Worked for a long time with Ms. Gurley for 8 years, with the Mayor Harrington for all 16 and a half years I was on as a city council member. So Mayor Harrington, in appreciation for your time as a mayor for 10 years, with our greatest appreciation, the city council and city staff thank you for your service and dedication to the city of Bonner Springs. During your tenure as mayor, you presided at approximately 247 city council meetings and numerous special meetings. A total of about 215 ordinances, 248 resolutions were passed. The devotion of your time, energy, and skills resulted in decisions and policies that helped to improve our community. Thank you for your contributions to the following as well. City Council, Johnson County, Wyandotte County Council of Mayors Board member, a City Council member from 2001 to 2013, Mid-America Regional Council Mark Board member, Economic Development Task Force, Wyandotte Economic Development Council Board of Directors, Riverfront Task Force, Planning Commission, Board of Zoning Appeals, Library Board, Chamber of Commerce, Cemetery Advisory Committee. I thought maybe there was more on the back. So, thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Would you like to say a few words on your departing words? I'm going to head up there.
Thank you, Tom, very much. Yes, I appreciate that greatly, and I appreciate everyone, not only all of you here this evening, but the citizens of Bonner Springs and the wonderful leaders that I've had the honor of serving with over my tenure, both Mayor Stolfus, Mayor Smith, have been meaningful parts of my life, and I look to them as mentors through the years and have greatly appreciated them. Thank you very much. As well as all the city council members, I'm very proud of you. The hard work that the city council does oftentimes goes unrecognized, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And now I'll be able to sit in the seats out here and keep you all in line from afar. So thank you very much. It's been an honor.
Thank you, Mayor. And with that, then, we will move on with the swearing in of the new police personnel.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Billy Naff, Chief of Police. I get the privilege of introducing our two newest officers, Brendan Hedrick and Rob Beckley. Officer Hedrick has been a police officer since December of 2017. He began his career with the city of Bonner Springs, reaching the rank of corporal before leaving for employment with the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department in December of 2022. Officer Hedrick returned to the Bonner Springs Police Department in January of 24 to continue to serve the community he enjoys. Officer Hedrick serves as a field training officer with the department. Prior to his career in law enforcement, Officer Hedrick served in the United States Army. Officer Rob Beckel has been a police officer since December of 2019. He began his career with the Kansas City, Missouri Airport Police Department. Officer Beckley, then worked at the Kansas City, Kansas Community College, and University of Kansas Medical Center Police Departments before joining the Bonner Springs Police Department in January 24. Officer Beckley is bilingual in Amharic. He studied in criminal justice at Johnson County Community College and received his Missouri Class A police officer certification from Missouri Western State University Police Academy before becoming certified in Kansas. I introduce you Officer Brendan Hedrick and Rob Beckley.
Welcome aboard, officers. And with that, we'll move on to some items that we're a little bit more used to doing on a regular basis, and that is the citizens' concerns. And this is a time where it's an opportunity for citizens to address the mayor and city council on the record in the open public meeting about items that are not on tonight's council agenda. No immediate action will be taken on those issues in the interest of fair and transparent city government. Is there anybody who would like to address the council? Mr. Mayor, you sure? Anyone else that would like to address the council? Seeing no one, we will then move on with our consent agenda. On tonight's consent agenda, we have the claims for city operations, as well as the minutes of the December 18th, 2023 meeting. Council, the staff wish to poll anything? Any of the citizens wish to have anything polled? Council, do you wish to have anything polled? If not, I will accept a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as written.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Reeves and a second by Mr. Shannon. Clerk?
Reeves,
Yes.
Kip,
Yes.
Blanks,
Yes.
Wood. Yes. McMahon,
Yes.
Long. Yes. Shannon,
Yes.
motion passes.
Yeah, the hardest part of becoming mayor, I don't get to vote. You had to do that for 10 years, didn't you? And with that, we'll move on to new business. We have the Kansas Avenue Culvert Project. Staff?
Good evening. Frank A. Bart, Public Works Director. The first item on the agenda here is the Kansas Avenue Culvert Project. This is a project we've been involved with for at least a couple of years, looking for a solution. I think we finally have come upon the solution using a slip culvert device. And I talked to you at length about this in October. We solicited for bids. Low bid, lowest and best bid has come in at $475,540 with Legacy Underground Construction. This is over the amount we had budgeted, and we anticipate taking additional funds from our road budget where we have overlay and things like that in 2 or 3 more items, you'll see where we came in quite a bit under budget on that particular item. So we're going to offset this increase with that amount. Any questions? This would be total funds, local funds. This is not supplemented with any state or federal funds. Should have mentioned that.
I will ask if there's anybody from the citizens that would like to speak on this issue at all. If not, I'll accept a motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Shannon, a second by Mr. Reeves. We'll start down on this end. Mr. Reeves?
I have nothing.
I have nothing.
I might ask real quickly, does it include, I think, I've identified, I believe, 3 areas? Is there 2 or 3 culverts that,
Well, this would be a culvert that right now has 2 culverts going underneath this area.
okay,
We're going to minimize that. I think it's going to go to 1. Maybe I should look for Matt. Okay, yeah, we're going to make this just 1 culvert.
I know there's 3 areas that I've seen kind of
Yeah.
identified where we have issues along Kansas Avenue.
This will not address those issues just yet.
This is completely something
Right.
even different than those.
This is the worst,
Gotcha.
the worst area that we're addressing
Approximately
right
where
now.
is this one at then?
This is going to be, I'm going to say west of 134th,
Okay,
500 feet. There you go. Maybe that's
Okay.
better. East of the eastern entrance into Lay Valley.
gotcha. Okay, I know which
It's
one you're
probably
talking about.
most notably, there's used to be snow fence, probably still is there, trying to protect an area of erosion, so.
Thank you, Mr. Abart. Any additional concerns, comments, questions? If not, Clark?
Shannon?
Yes.
Long? Yes. McMahon?
Yes.
Wood? Yes. Blanks?
Yes.
Hip?
Yes.
Reeves?
Yes.
Motion passes.
And I'm assuming there's a reason you're staying there.
Oh, yeah,
Please,
the
Mr.
next
Abart.
4 items, I think.
Our next item up is the Kansas Avenue Culvert Project, the consultant agreement.
Yes, so this is the consultant agreement for that particular project we just talked about. This is a new project. This is something we have never done before, and most of us have very little experience in, actually. So we did a lot of consulting with KDOT, who's been doing a lot of this, most notably in the city on K7. At any rate, this is for the consulting services, $42,550 to provide the documentation, construction management, and the on-site inspection for this project. And I should have probably mentioned this earlier, but one of the great things about this is it won't require extensive closures. There may be intermediate closures for an hour or 2 or something like that that you'd have with any project, but the flexibility that you can do this kind of stuff when it's 10 below 0, and you can do it without great massive disruptions in traffic, especially in that area with Lay Valley and several other traffic congestion issues. So anyway, staff recommends approval of the consultant agreement with Wilson.
Okay, would anybody of the citizens like to speak on this matter at all? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to authorize the city manager to sign an agreement with Wilson and Company, Inc. for construction services related to the Kansas City Culvert Project in the amount of $42,550.
Second.
We have a motion by Ms. Wood and a second by Mr. Shannon. We'll start down here with Mr. Shannon. Any questions, comments?
I can't express the amount of, I know the amount of stuff that goes into this. When I see these charts and charts and charts and little lines, and Thank you.
Thanks.
Nothing.
I might ask you real quickly, I meant to ask you earlier on the previous item, on that, since that's a new methodology, have we talked to anybody else who has used this method? And
KDOT most extensively.
so they
yes.
have used it?
Yeah,
Okay.
right, over here on K7, north of Nettleton.
Okay,
In fact, they're using it for the same reasons that it ought to fit our criteria, that reduces traffic disruption. So you can do this during about any weather conditions, except, of course, rain. I mean, if it's a drain pipe, I mean, if you got
well,
6 or,
I know that was one of my concerns, is the potential closing of Kansas Avenue, rerouting traffic, so.
yeah.
But we've been in places before here where we've tried something new and.
No kidding, yeah.
And then even before you came, with
Oh,
road surfacing
okay.
issues, and so I'm glad to hear that they've had success with it then.
Yep, it looks like it ought to work.
Well, if there's nothing else, anyone, then I will ask the clerk for a roll.
Voting on a motion to authorize the city manager to sign an agreement with Wilson and Company, Inc. for construction services related to the Kansas Avenue Culvert Project in the amount of $42,550. McMahon,
Yes.
Blanks,
Yes.
Shannon,
Yes.
Kip,
Yes.
Reeves,
Yes.
Wood,
Yes.
Long. Yes. Motion passes.
Thank you, Chris. On to our next item. Awarding the bid for Highway K32 Cump Paving Project.
Again, Frank Abart, Public Works Director. This is also a project we've been working on for a couple of years, working to get this scheduled and initiated through KDOT. Finally got an agreement signed with them earlier in 2023. We're able to get approval to solicit bids. Those bids were received on December the 19th. 5 prospective bid proposals. The low bid in the amount of $382,755.85 from J.M. Fahey Construction Company is the recommendation. The financial impact related to this project is that it's 90% funded with KDOT money, 10% city share money, and that, of course, will come from the streets budget. This was where I had spoken earlier about the bid being quite a bit under what our projections were for the budget. I believe we had about $600,000 budgeted for this, and we got some really good bids on this particular project. So this is the overlay primarily on what the Cump Highway 32 project from not quite Nettleton to the city limits, pretty much. So with that, I'll entertain questions.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Abart. Anybody from citizens would like to speak on this? I think everybody wants to get out of here for the snow. So with that, we'll start here with you, Ms. Wood.
It just makes sense.
Oh, I'm sorry, I should have asked, my apologies. Should have asked for a motion first. So let me put it out there, a motion.
Make a motion to award the bid for Highway 32 Cump paving project to J.M. Fahey Construction Company in the amount of, oh, it's got numbers. $382,755.85, subject to KDOT approval.
I'll second it.
We have a motion by Ms. Woods, a second by Ms. Blanks. Now, we will continue down here with Mr. Kipp. Nothing. Ms. Blanks?
Nothing. Thank you for your hard work.
Is there any lane changes or anything different in the traffic situation after we're doing this?
No, everything should remain the same. Lines will be put back exactly where they are.
Is that it? I might ask real quickly, do we have some flexibility on the scheduling so we can make sure we schedule this hopefully during the summer months between school windows? Because having that road.
Once it's awarded, we will have that discussion with the contractor. I think their initial thoughts were like April, Mayish.
Which
when
would
they
put
were
school
thinking.
still in
So
session.
it would
I
still be
know-
in school at that time, so.
I didn't know if there's
But
if it'd be possible to push it back until school closes, because I know it's gonna be,
yeah.
it'll be a mess for people getting in
And
and
they
out.
would probably appreciate that too. All we can do is request that at this point as we award, and we will do so.
Yeah, probably not as much high school as the grade school, since that's a one-way street that goes by there and
Mm. I
they'll
see.
have to come off of Com.
Good point. I do have one other thing to add. KDOT has, since this was produced, KDOT has provided the approval to move forward with this, so
Oh, great.
we're not pending that issue anymore.
So do we need to have Ms. Wood change her motion? I'm guessing no, so. And with that, is there any other questions, concerns, comments? If not, Ms. City Clerk?
Kip?
Yes.
Long?
Yes.
Shannon?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes.
Blanks?
Yes.
Reeves?
Yes.
McMahon?
Yes.
Motion passes.
On to item number 4, Second Street Waterline Project Design and Construction Management Contract.
Frank Abart, Public Works Director. This is a project to actually complete one of those loops that we have that supplements and manages our water system. This is going to convert an old 4-inch line to a 12-inch and complete a loop pretty much between the downtown and out to the fuel house area. We've already got those 12 inches. This is going to make the connection between them and complete that loop for the water system. I understand that we do not yet have the $1.3 million in our hands, pending a UG agreement. But we have some hoops we have to cross, and that's what this agreement is about. It's with Wilson and Company, once again, who has already done a substantial amount of the work on this design. This is to complete the design, get the plans and specifications developed, and then we have to ship it to KDHE to get approval before we can even send it out for bid. So we have a little work we need to do before we're really ready for that money from the UG anyway, but this will get us to the point where we will be prepared when that does come available from the UG. That would be the construction money from UG that we're talking about. This money will come from the water budget that we have budgeted. The engineering and everything will come from there.
Thank you, Mr. Abart.
That's it.
Anybody from the public wish to voice their concerns, comments on this? Seeing none, I would accept a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to authorize the city manager to sign a design and construction management contract for the Second Street Water Line project to Wilson and Company in the amount of $56,100.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Reeves and a second by Mr. Shannon. We'll start here with you this time, Mr. McMahon. Ms. Wood? Ms. Blanks?
Nothing.
Quick question, and it kind of leads into the next item that's going to be up there. Is that water line on the north side or the south side of Second Street would we be looking at?
Most of it is on the south side. However, the relocation of this is going to be kind of in the roadway itself.
Gotcha,
So
okay,
it's going to avoid the conflict.
okay, you see where I'm going
It
with
will avoid most of the conflict.
Okay.
I shouldn't say it's going to avoid all conflict.
Okay,
Most construction has a surprise somewhere, so.
gotcha. Thank you, Mr. Abart. Anybody need to ask any other questions, concerns, comments? If not, we'll call for the motion. Or
Wood?
call for the vote, I'm sorry.
Wood?
Yes.
Blanks?
Yes.
Yes.
Reeves?
Yes.
McMahon?
Yes.
Long?
Yes.
Kip?
Yes.
Shannon?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Last item, regular business item on the list is number 5, the Sidewalk Improvement Project, and award a design contract.
Yeah, Frank Abart, Public Works. As you may recall, some discussions over the last year or so, at least, I think it's actually been more than a year, talking about maybe finishing some connections of sidewalks where we have what seems to be a lot of pedestrian activity, pedestrian use where there is no sidewalk, so they end up walking in the street. And there's 2 areas in question here that we'd like to pursue, one along Second Street and the other one along Morse. And essentially, all this does is get us to the point where we have design and specifications so that we can take it out to bid. And we'll be back to talk to you when we get to that point so that we can get authorization to solicit bids. I'm hoping that we can make these simple enough that we can maybe get 1 or 2 actually done this year. We're getting started early enough, so. With that, I'm recommending an award to Wilson and Company in the amount of $50,000 for doing this design and development work.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Abart. Any citizens would like to speak on this matter? If not, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to authorize the city manager to sign and design contract for the sidewalk improvement project to Wilson and Company, Inc., in the amount of $50,000.
A second.
We have a motion by Mr. Shannon, a second by Mr. McMahon. With that, we'll go ahead and start back down here with you, Mr. Reeves.
Yes, on the Morris Street sidewalks, that's mostly on the north side, but where does it cross over to the south side? Does it wait till it gets clear up to Bluegrass to cross over, or does it cross over before that?
I believe there is, it's by the church up there, and I can't think of the name of the church.
Methodist Church.
Yes, and what we have discussed is that we will try to make that the primary part up there to that crossing, and we will bid maybe as an option or an alternative to complete it. I think there's like 2 more blocks or something like that to complete it on that side, just to see if we can get that in the same construction package. But you're encroaching on a lot more utilities, and we may have to get private easements. There's all kinds of reasons that that could delay the whole project. So I think it's best if we break that off into an alternate, and let's just see if we can afford it.
Well, I know on the north side in that area, it's pretty overgrown there. It'd be a lot of work there to take care of that.
Yeah. But you're talking south side. Yeah. Yeah, we own that though, see. Got a little more control over that.
Ms. Blanks?
I have nothing.
Mr. Kipp?
I love that we are making more sidewalks available in Bonner and,
A second.
And, yeah, you can see where my question had to do with Second Street, because that sidewalk, I was wanting to make sure that if they were both taking place in that portion of the, area,
Yeah,
ground surface, that we wouldn't do one and then have to destroy it, so.
exactly.
But it'll be actually in the street, the water line, so it won't disturb any sidewalk. I'm assuming that the sidewalk would be placed on the southern portion of Second Street.
Yes.
Okay.
And in fact, we own
Relatively
a
speaking.
great big portion of that as well, if not all of it. So the only complication that would come there would be with the lift station construction. But that's not even gonna be a complication. We will make that work.
Okay. Good. If there's no other questions or concerns, vote please.
Blanks?
Yes.
McMahon?
Yes.
Wood?
yes.
Reeves?
Yes.
Kipp?
Yes.
Long?
Yes.
Shannon?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. Abart.
you.
You got to spend a lot of time here with us this evening.
Thank you.
And with that finishes our regular business. We'll move on to reports. First up is the city manager's report.
Let me just go ahead and start with the obvious. We are monitoring the weather, so I've got two people here that are keen on that with Mr. Abart and Mr. Beats, but there are a lot of closures, a lot of delays going on, so I do just want to point that out. Again, that anything that we would do would be communicated on social media. I know that we have canceled a few classes with Parks and Rec and today and tomorrow. Do also want to thank the police officers for coming today. I do want to acknowledge Chief Richards. This was somewhat of his idea, not necessarily for the police department, but as a way of introduction, especially as we're moving forward with our fire department and bringing full-time staff on there as a way of introducing folks to the community, to have the swearing in actually at this meeting or a city council meeting as opposed to kind of how we were doing it before. So again, I do want to acknowledge Chief Richards for that idea. And that being said, we will have several folks coming in at the next council meeting February council meeting from the fire department, as we've been doing some hiring up there over the last couple of weeks and over the next couple of weeks. So exciting stuff going on there. I do want to make sure everybody's aware that we did get receive notification from the Kansas Historic Society that there is a property being considered by the Kansas Historic Sites Board for review on, February 3rd at 9:30 a.m. This property is at 643 South 138th Street, generally at the corner of Kansas Avenue and 138th Street. But again, there's some additional information if you'd like to be part of that meeting. Please reach out to Chris or I, and we can make sure you have the details. But exciting to see a property being considered on that listing. And then lastly, I do want to also make mention that the city did receive notification from the Unified Government about some changes at the Household Hazardous Waste site and Yard Waste site regarding fees associated with that. Right now, that is a free service. However, they appear to be moving towards a pay-for service related to that. I have asked for some clarification, but haven't received that yet. But again, just want to make sure that you're all aware and the community is aware of those pending changes. But we'll notify you when and if I get notification that they're going into effect. So, other than that, that is all I have this evening.
And then, I'm not sure if this didn't get updated. Normally we do council items and then mayor's items. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the city council items, and we'll start it down here with Mr. Shannon. Do you have anything this evening? Ms. Long?
No, nothing. I was really impressed with the employee.
Turn on that mic now.
Oh, mechanics. I was really impressed with the new employee newsletter. I really enjoyed it because we don't realize how many things underneath everything make it work, and that was wonderful. And we have 2 3-time All-Americans in college for track, new people in the community. That's kind of neat to know that. And the Lady Fingers recipe from Christina was whoa. But the employee newsletter, it's humanity that makes this whole thing work, and the humans were shown. Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Wood.
Very well put. I love the pictures of the new fire truck. Looks like Optimus Prime there. That is pretty impressive. I will give a shout out to my wife. She's a school teacher, and her birthday's tomorrow. She gets a snow day, so you cannot give a teacher a better gift than that. So, thanks, city, for all your hard work. I know there's probably a lot coming up with the snow and bad weather, so thank you for keeping everyone safe.
First, I want to congratulate Tom on mayor tonight, and just everyone for being so welcoming and helpful, and had great onboarding with Sean and Chris and all the department heads, and everyone just does a really fantastic job, and I'm just really excited to work with all of you, so thank you.
Ms. Reeves?
One item I haven't brought up for a while, on our water lines, because we were talking about so much water product tonight. The loop that goes up to Roberts, there on the Lakewood Road extension, I don't want you to forget about that. There's not a loop. It needs to be a loop. And so I like to mention that every once in a while, because he's got a filtration system up there that's doing our job. And so I think we need to get that on the agenda if we can. Appreciate that. That's all I'll say for tonight.
On that subject or period? So you're done then?
I'm done.
All right, okay, then on to the mayor's report. I will try to keep it somewhat brief. We don't need to be here too much longer. Real quickly, I did, last week I attended the Wyandotte County, Johnson County, Wyandotte County Council of Mayors meeting, and met several of the mayors from around the two areas, including the new mayor from Shawnee, who has a very similar story, longtime council member. He was just newly elected. We had a good conversation. During the, at that meeting, we had Representative Sharice Davids, a representative from Senator Marshall's office, and another representative from Representative Jake LaTurner's office. And they sat around and answered questions. And one of the questions that did come up was posed, had to do with the K7 corridor. And as they got into talking about it a little bit, all the eyes went to me. So I took that as an opportunity to express our concerns about them wanting to create a major thoroughfare bypass route through Bonner. And explain to them there were other alternatives, that the money could be spent a lot better by just improving the intersection rather than putting millions of dollars into trying to create some humongous overpass. So I don't know how far those comments will go, but I did have the opportunity, so I spoke out. Secondly, this weekend, or next Monday, is Martin Luther King Day. The offices will be closed. Just want to mention that there will be a celebration that takes place at the First Christian Church from 1 to 2:30 p.m. Everyone is invited, so if you do have the day off, or if you have an opportunity, you might come by and enjoy a little bit of the celebration that takes place. And with that, I'd like to thank appreciate that Mrs. Blanks is on here, as well as our other three former re-elected council members. Glad you're back. And with that, unless there's some other questions or concerns from me, I will go ahead and, any questions, concerns? If not, meeting adjourned.
Pretty good.
It'll get better.